Hi, I'm Tony Slagmartin, and this is the first edition of Tony Slagmartin Explains It All. Today, Tony Slagmartin, will explain everything that anybody ever wants to know about anything. Today, Tony Slagmartin, am going to tell you the things that most piss me off. Okay, first thing is bananas. You go to the store, you buy a bunch of bananas, you get them home, and you eat like 2 bananas, and then the rest of the bananas all go rotten. You get up one morning, you want to make a banana split, you get your ice cream scoop out. You scoop out the ice cream, you put it in a bowl, you go over to the bananas, and when you look at the bananas, they're rotten, and you just have to throw the rest away. So what's the point? Another thing is, let me take a sip of my root beer. And now, peanuts. When you go into a bar and you eat peanuts, and you have to take all the peanuts out of the shell. This is you taking peanuts out of the shell. And then when you finally get the peanut out of the shell, the peanut's only this big. I mean, what's the point? Just buy planters. It's much easier. I mean, for crying out loud. Another thing is, I want to talk about today is tacos. When you make a taco at home and you put your ingredients, you start stuffing the shell like this with all the ingredients, and then when you go to take a bite, all the ingredients fall off the taco. What's the point? Another thing is big pieces of meat on tiny bread. Why do they make bread so small for? I mean, I make sandwiches this big, and then when you put your slices of meat on it, and by the time you put the meat and cheese and lettuce and tomato, you take a bite, and the lettuce and tomato are the first ones to want to come off the sandwich. And then you take another bite, and then your meat starts slipping off the bread, and it comes out of the sandwich, and then you're like, ugh, what's the point? And then when you go to Hardee's and you get a great big burger, and they put so much ingredients on it that you take a bite of the burger and everything falls onto your shirt. What's the point? Another thing is, when you're drinking soda, and you drink it, and then you drink the whole can of soda, and then you're thirsty like 2 minutes later. What's the point? John Madden football. You're sitting there, you're playing John Madden football by yourself because you don't have Xbox Online. And you're playing football, and you're trying to learn the controller, and the football player moves by himself. You just might as well be putting it on computer play. What's the point? Another thing is, you ever notice that when you're taking a crap and then you go to wipe your butt and poop gets on your thumb, it's like you never can get enough toilet paper to wipe your butt because you always end up with poop on your thumb. What's the point? You might as well be wiping your ass with your hands. Another thing. You ever notice that when you're reading the newspaper, the only real parts of the newspaper you read is like the sports and the comics, and everything else pretty much sucks? Why not just give us a sports page in comics? I mean, take the rest of the newspaper and throw it away. What's the point? Another thing is, when you're watching TV late at night and all you really want to do is see a good movie that comes on, and all they show is infomercials, and they keep talking about the same thing over and over again. What's the point? Another thing is, you ever notice when you get up to go pee and you have a hard on, and then your pee hits the back of the toilet seat, and then you have to stand back, and when you're standing back and you're peeing, the pee all of a sudden almost runs out, and then all of a sudden you're hitting the floor, and then you have to scoot up again, and then it's too late, you're done peeing. What's the point? You ever notice that when you go to pick your nose and you get a wet booger and you think it's going to be a dry one, when you start picking and you pull it out, it's dry, but then at the end it has like a little tail at the end of it and it's all wet? That's disgusting. Don't do that. Anyway, that's all the points I have to make for today. I will see you next time on Tony, whatever the hell I said my last name was. Okay, just remember that last name. Tony Explains It All. Did I say Stogmartin or something like that? Oh well, who cares? What's the point? You never can remember last names anyway. Until next time, see you at the racetracks.